Hello, this presentation summarizes an SOC-style investigation conducted using Splunk Enterprise and the Boot version 3 dataset. The objective of this exercise was to analyze enterprise security telemetry, identify cloud misconfiguration, authentication weaknesses, and endpoint anomalies, and related these findings to a real-world SOC detection and incident response workflow. And the investigation focuses on the AWS CloudTrail, S3 access logs, hardware inventory, and the Windows host monitoring data aligned primarily with the SOC Tier 1 and Tier 2 responsibility. One focuses on identifying IAM users that access the AWS services. So using the source type AWS CloudTrail, and this entire query will filters the IAM user activities and extract the unique username that attempted to access the AWS services. So when run this query, this is the result has been shown below the IAM user list. This has been formatted into comma without any spaces by using the last line of the query. Has been stated as a question requirement. This aims to identify the correct field used to alert the AWS API activity occurring without the MFA, excluding the console logging events. So by using this query, so these are the results have been found here. So this, by comparing these two fields, and this particular field, which is the user entity, this shows the API, AWS API call, which is false, which means this indicating detecting the API activity without MFA. So this will be the answer. It's the hardware telemetry to identify the processor model used in the web server. So this is the query for this question has been used is the source type hardware to find the hardware information. So this will be the result have been displayed over here. So from here we can see that the CPU type. So here we can get the answer, but the question is asked for the model number. So this will be the answer, which is the E52676. For investigate a cloud misconfiguration where an S3 bucket was made publicly accessible. So for this question has been used is the source AWS CloudTrail and the event name is put bucket ACL. And this query is run, and this is the result have been found here. So from this query I have been sorted in ascending form for the time frame so that it will be easier to refer the information. So from here the event ID that have been displayed is this one. So this will be with the answer. So for the question 5, from the same CloudTrail event that have been used for the question 4, this question is asked for the what is the BOTS username that is responsible for the misconfiguration. So from here we can see the user identity and the username, then bestow. So bestow will be the answer for the question 5. Same goes to question 6. This one also using the CloudTrail events. So for this one, they ask for the what is the name of the S3 bucket. So from the first line that we found in as a result, so we can go over here. So from here we can see the bucket name. This is the bucket name that have been made publicly accessible, which is the Frotly web code. Okay, for the question 7, it asks to identify a file uploaded to the S3 bucket while it was publicly accessible using the S3 access log. So for this one, the software has been used is the S3 access log, and the Frotly web is actually found in the previous question. For the question 6, this is actually a name of the S3 bucket that has been publicly accessible. And as it asks to find for the file name should be in the txt, which is the text file format. So that's why this has been applied. And the second line actually is from the data logs. So from that we have to extract the specific file name and the status. And the next is the make it into a table form to have a clear view. So in the table, we can see is the time frame, file name, and the status. So after run this query, we can found one specific result which is the file name is the open bucket please fix.txt file name. So this will be the answer for the question number 7. So as we can see here, this is the status, which is the HTTP status. This means it's the 200, which means it is successfully uploaded. The file is successfully uploaded. So that's why it has been shown as a 200. For the question A, they ask for the FQDN of the endpoint that is running the different Windows OS edition than others. So for this question, I have been conducted 2 steps to get the result. So for the step 1, I do the OS comparison, which is I use the source type WinHostman, and this query is came out with the result of host and their OS, which is the operating system. So in this result, in this area, we can see that every host that have been running the Microsoft 10 Pro, except for the Bestow-L. This one only one unique host that have been running the operating system, which is the Microsoft Windows 10 Enterprise. The step 2, which is the final step I've been doing, is FQGN extraction. So for this one, I have been changed the source tag from the WinHostman to the WinEvenLog to extract the fully qualified domain names. So this result I've been viewed over here is bestow and 43.ly. So this is the format of the answer that have been used in the question 8. Because they asked for the FQGN specifically of the endpoint, so this is the format should have for the host, which is the bestow-l.